This jack-o'-lantern costume is amazing, with super bright COB lights to light up the face and a hidden camera in the stem that attaches to our phone on the inside. Nobody knows how we can see, but you will, because I'm going to show you how to make this right now. Okay, really quick, here's how I made this jack-o'-lantern costume. The main part of the pumpkin is great stuff foam that I sprayed out onto an exercise ball in 2 halves before I attached it together and painted it. The face that I carved out here is lit up with COB lighting strips that I put through this really cool neon green filter, so it gives it a nice menacing look. Up top in the stem, I hid a fiber optic camera that attaches to my phone, which I put on the inside, so I have a screen in 1080p where I can see everything, and also in the stem is a vent fan so I don't overheat while wearing this. This is one of the coolest costumes I've ever made. If I can do it, you can too. So we're gonna break it down right now step by step, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Let's make a costume. To begin, we need an exercise ball. This one's 55 centimeters, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap it in saran wrap. This way, when we cover it with great stuff foam, it won't stick to the ball. This exercise ball is weighted, which makes it really easy to work with. I recommend one of these. This is great stuff foam, and we're going to go ahead and make 2 halves. So the first thing we want to do is cut it in half right down the middle with a nice line of foam. After we get that in place, go ahead and cut that in half again, and then cut that in half again. Keep cutting the lines in half. The idea is we don't want to touch our new line of foam to our old line of foam while it's drying, because that's going to make a big mess. You want to have a soft trigger finger on the can of great stuff. Easy to make a big mess. This is about the end of round 1, and we're going to go through 4 rounds before this whole thing gets filled in. In between rounds, we need to let it dry. And when it dries, the can also dries. This applicator tip turns into a nightmare. It blocks solid. You can clean it out with a pipe cleaner or a piece of metal, but that makes a giant mess. You can get a brand new can every time, but that wastes what's left in the old can. The best way to deal with this is right here. This is a pack of 30 applicator tips, and you're gonna need to get one of these to do this whole process. This way we can just use a new tip every time and not worry about the old foam that's stuck in the old applicator tip. This stuff right here, just throw it away. Now we're back at it. This is the start of round 2. The existing lines are already dry, so I'm just tracing those around instead of cutting it in half like we were doing before. We're just trying to fill this whole thing in and get rid of the blue part that's the ball. So I'm following the old lines around and we're just thickening it up. Keep doing this. After we get done with this round, this is what round 3 looks like. And I'm going to have to do one more round to touch up for round 4. And once we get that done, our half shell will be complete. The whole thing took about an hour. And when it's done, this is what you got. Now we have half our pumpkin ready to go. This comes off pretty easy because of the saran wrap. Don't worry about the saran wrap sticking to the foam. It's gonna happen. It doesn't matter at all. So now we have one good half clean, ready to go. And after you have this done, you want to go ahead and make one more. Now we have 2 halves of our pumpkin ready to go. Put the exercise ball back in and go ahead and line these 2 halves up as best you can. You want to get the center points lined up clean and then tape them together down the center, and now it's off to the next step. Find something that your head fits through. This clear Tupperware container works great. I just put some blue painter's tape around it so I don't get marker on it. And we're just tracing this out so we can cut a spot through that our head is going to fit through. Once I have it traced out, here's what we got. Now I know what to cut, and we can do that with just a basic steak knife. Foam's really easy to work with. So take it apart, put half on the table, get your steak knife, and just cut it on out. It's really easy to cut through the foam. If anything, it's too easy. It's easy to go further than you want to. So just take your time and don't get the sharpest knife that you have. Once you get this half cut out, you want to go ahead and do the same to the other half. And this is where our head is going to go through. When it's cut out, this is what you should have. Our head goes through there, and now it's on to the next step. Up next, we need to get our face on our pumpkin. So get a piece of poster board and draw whatever face you want to have. Go ahead and cut it out with an X-Acto knife. And we are just making a stencil that we can put on our pumpkin, and that way we know where to cut things. A stencil just makes it really easy to work with, so I went ahead and cut out half of the mouth, and then I cut out the eyes. And these are the stencils that I'm going to use to tape up to the pumpkin, and that way I know where to make my cuts. Once these are done, it's off to the next step. So now that I have a stencil, I went ahead and just taped it up there and hit it with a little bit of black primer. And now I know exactly where to cut things. I did the mouth in 2 halves. I just flipped it over for the other half. Took it outside with a little black primer. And once this is done, now I have the mouth complete, and now it's off to the eyes. You could freehand cut these out, but for me, I need to see what I'm doing, so the stencil helps a lot. The piece of tape down the middle is the center line. It just gives me a good reference point, so I know where to put things. You can always do it again. There's no right or wrong until you start cutting. So once I have my eyes in place, I took them outside for a little bit of spray paint with the black primer. And when I was done, this is what I got. Pretty cool design, so we're going to go ahead and cut this out with our steak knife like we did before. Right now I'm cutting out the eyes with the steak knife. I'm taking my time because, like I said, it's pretty easy to overdo it with the knife. Don't get the sharpest knife in the kitchen and don't push too hard. It's just great stuff foam. It cuts really easy. Pick out your little pieces of foam, cut them out in sections if you have to. And once I got both the eyes cut out, and these are looking nice and clean, it's off to do the same thing for the teeth. So now I'm cutting out the teeth one by one, cleaning them up, picking out the foam. And once we get our design cut out, and you're happy with where you got it, this is what we have from the back. A nice clean face, all cut out, and we're off to the next step. Now it's time for spray paint. This rustic orange is the perfect pumpkin color, but before we do that, we want to cover this with a coat of flat black primer. I took it outside and hit it with the primer, and this is what we got. Before we hit it with our orange paint, we want to go ahead and fill in our design that we cut out with some polyfill. This stuff right here is just the insulation and cushions, and we want to do this so the black remains on the sides of the eyes and the teeth before we paint it orange. It'll give it depth. If we don't do this, it's not going to look right, so make sure you do this part. Now that it's all nice and filled in, it's off to the next step. I took the rustic orange paint outside, gave it one quick coat, and this is what we got. Now you can see here, we got the inside black and the outside orange. And when we go ahead and pop out all our polyfill, the sides of the eyes and the teeth are still black. Look how much better that looks than if we just made it orange. It gives it the proper amount of depth. Go ahead and poke all this out, clean it up really quick, and when you're done, this is what you got. Looking pretty good, huh? Now that we've got our face all painted and our design cut out and prepped, it's off to the next step. This is gel film. It's transparent plastic that goes over lights for stage lighting, and this is how we're going to have our neon green color come out through our lights. So I'm going to go ahead and take our stencils from before and just cover those with a quick piece of this really cool neon green film. Go ahead and just trace them out a little bit bigger. Cut out the film to match your shape. This is a lot better than cellophane because it's thicker. You could do this with cellophane, but it would be a lot harder to work with, so I recommend this gel film. Place them up here on the eyes like I'm doing right now. And now you can see this cool neon green is going to shine through our eyes. So in order to get these up here, we want to use Gorilla Tape. Always use Gorilla Tape. It's the best tape. This stuff has a layer of protective film on it, so use a piece of tape to peel that off before you tape it up there. And just get some little strips of Gorilla Tape and tape this in place. There's no right or wrong. We just want to make sure that the light shines through our cutouts and comes through in the color that we want. They make this gel film in every color, but I think the neon green looks great. So now that I've got the eyes taped up, it's off to do the same thing with the teeth. Smaller pieces work better. This is kind of a hard plastic, so one big piece would be hard to tape up there. So just cut a few small pieces, tape them up there. It doesn't have to look pretty. Nobody's going to see the inside. We just want the light shining through to be the neon green. And once it's done, this is what we got. Right now, here's where we're at on our costume. We have two halves of our pumpkin. The face half is completely done and painted. We've prepped our design. We have our neon film behind our eyes and our teeth. And now it's time to light it up with some COB lights. This is a COB lighting strip, and they're just way brighter than LEDs, and we're going to use two of these on our pumpkin. We're going to light up our face with these, but before we can do that, we need to frame it out with some of this window sealing. This is just stick-on sponge, and we can use it to make a frame. You can see right here, I put it all the way around the face. And so we're going to get it up there, tape it in place with some Gorilla Tape, and tape the whole thing all the way around on both sides. We want to get this up here really good. We don't want this falling off or any light escaping. So once you have this in place, and the frame's done, now we need to fill the middle. We want to take little pieces of Gorilla Tape and cover up the entire rest of the inside of this. We're doing this so no light escapes through the foam. There's a bunch of little holes and teeny cracks that you can't see, but when we light it up, the light would come through those spots, and we only want light coming through our design. Now that I've got it fully prepped, it's time to tape up our COB lighting strip. So we're going to take one of these and follow the little sponge frame that we made on the inside, and it tapes up in 1 minute. I'm just following it around on the outside. And once I get it up there, this is what it looks like. So now that we have that one in, we're going to take one more of those COB lighting strips and just go the other way so we can finish the design. And when we have them both up, this is what we got. These COB lights are the brightest battery power lights I've ever gotten. I definitely recommend them. They're going to make this costume pop. But it's not good for our eyes. So in order to fix that, borrow the cap from the primer can, and we're going to put this right here in the middle. Go ahead and tape this into place really quick. And once you get it up there in place, this is what you do. We're using this cap as a spacer to hold up some black poster board. And we're going to take our black poster board and cut it into some workable strips and then just tape it up all the way across the sponge frame. What we're trying to do here is have all the light go out through our design, through the front, the eyes and the teeth, and none of it come back onto our actual eyes and our face. And when you're done, this is what you got. And in the dark, here's how this looks. How cool is this? It's super bright, but it's only coming out through the design that we cut out. Our eyes and our teeth are lighting up, but nothing else is. There's no light escaping out through gaps in the pumpkin, and no light is beaming out through our neck. Now, it's off to the coolest part of this whole costume, our hidden fiber optic camera and our built-in vent fan. Our pumpkin needs a stem, and our stem is where we're going to hide our vent fan. This is just a little personal fan, and we're going to put it right there so we're blowing air down onto our head. Otherwise, we'd overheat. Don't make this without a vent fan. This is our fiber optic camera, and it plugs into our phone, and it's how we're going to see out. You can see right here, everywhere I point the camera, it just picks up on our phone, and we're going to mount this on the inside, and no one's going to know how we can see, and it's going to be awesome. All we need to do is rig all this together real quick, so let's do that right now. First thing you want to do is cut the end off the bottle. Don't use a flimsy plastic bottle. Get something a little bit thicker. Have the air blowing down so it's going to blow onto your head, pulling in fresh air. Use some Gorilla Tape and just tape the bottle to the back of the fan. And now when the fan's on, it's going to be pulling fresh air constantly from the outside so we won't overheat. I went ahead and I cut the bottle in half again and just tipped the mouthpiece down a little. I just want to angle the stem a little. I don't want it to be perfectly straight up. It'll look better if it's curved. Once I have that in place, we need to make a hole for our fiber optic camera. We want our camera pointing down, not out. You need to be able to see where you're walking. So I have the hole angled down, and then our fiber optic camera just slides right into place. It's super easy. Just like that. Now you can see here, everywhere I point the bottle with the camera in it, picks up on our phone. And we're going to have this mounted on the inside, and we're going to be able to see everything, no problem. Our stem that we built with our camera and our fan is going to go right here. Once you tape it into place, this is what you got. Our phone's going to go somewhere around here, the white cord's for our charger, and our head is going to go right here in this hard hat. So now we just need to situate where our head's going to go, and everything's going to line up perfect. So it's off to the next step. This is how a hard hat works. You've got the hard hat, but the inside is this band that fits around your head. This thing clicks it tighter or looser to adjust it. And now we can just cut the top off this because we don't need it. The reason we want to cut the top off is two parts. Number one, we want as much airflow coming under our head as possible. And number two, we want to be able to reach up through here and turn on and off the vent fan. So when we get the top cut off, this is what you got. And it looks just like this. Now air will hit our head and we'll stay nice and cool. This is a coat hanger, and it's how we're going to attach our hard hat to the sides of the pumpkin. Coat hangers are the perfect thickness of metal, and they're really easy to work with. So take one apart, bend it in half, get some pliers, make a little loop on the end right here, and this is how we're going to attach our hard hat to the sides of our pumpkin. Make 2 of these coat hanger pieces. We need 4 1-inch bolts and nuts. You can get a pack of these for $1 at Walmart. And just screw this up here nice and tight. And then this way, we have a way to attach our hard hat and get it situated in the middle with the side of our pumpkin. And this is where our head is going to go. So once you get that done, take some Gorilla Tape, tape it up nice and clean. And then we want to go ahead and bend this up. And what we're going for is following the walls of the side of the pumpkin. Once we have it up there, this is where this goes. Just like that. Make sure the back faces the back and the front faces the front. and then tape some poster board up on the sides that you can tape the coat hangers to. This way, when we adjust it, we won't damage our costume. And now we need to stop and try things on. You can see right here, I've got it taped up, but this is way too low on me. It needs to be up there. When I have it where it's at right now, it's on my chest and not on my neck, so I need to adjust it quite a bit. Once you get your adjustments figured out, here's where our phone's gonna go. This is a running arm band to hold your phone when you're jogging. We're gonna go ahead and cut this piece off because we don't need it. All we want is this plastic case to hold our phone. And once we have it done, this is what we got. And that's where it's gonna be our screen on the inside of our pumpkin that attaches to our camera. So when this is in place, this is what we got, and this is how we're gonna see. Our pumpkin's up there. I replaced the poster board with some proper cardboard. That way it's thick enough to hold our hard hat and our coat hangers into place. And now that we know where our head's gonna be and where our screen's gonna be, we can go ahead and put the two halves together. So here's where you're at. We need to fill in this cardboard with some great stuff and cover up our stem as well. So in order to do that, get the two pieces nice and level, and then get your can of great stuff like we did before, and just trace in the lines. The great stuff is really gonna add some strength to everything, so it's gonna hold this whole thing together nice and snug. And this is what we're at on the inside. This is a live view out through the stem. You can see through our fiber optic camera, that's where our screen's gonna be. It's right in front of our face when we're in there. But before we put the last little touches on, you wanna go ahead and stop and try this on one more time. And just make sure the screen and the camera is where you want it. Moving the camera really changes our field of view, so make sure it lines up perfect before we great stuff it into place. Now we're finishing up our stem. I took an empty toilet paper towel roll and put it on top just to make the stem a little longer, and I covered the fiber optic camera with a straw. That way I don't get any foam on it. Just like before, do one line at a time. Wait for it to dry before you do the next one. And when we have this done, here's what we got. Our camera is covered by the straw. I wrapped the straw in a little bit of cellophane so I can remove the straw from the great stuff without it getting stuck. And our stem is looking good. Our two halves are all done. Great stuff together. And all we have left to do now is take it out with some paint. I took it outside and painted the rest of it, and here's what we got. Our pumpkin looks absolutely amazing. I left our stem primered black. It just looks better that way. Nobody can see our camera up there. We can see out everything, and we are almost all done. Take the straw off of the camera. A little bit of touch-up paint just around there. And that's it. We are all done. This costume is a home run. Pair this up with a nice pair of overalls and we are good to go. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you learned something. I'll see you out there, and I can't wait to see your costume. Be safe, everybody.